Hi guys, I'm going to show you a really quick tutorial today on how to fix chromatic aberration in your photos. Um, it's also called fringing, and it's this stuff right here. This purple, sometimes it's pink, sometimes it's green, sometimes it's blue, but it's any color that does not belong in a high contrast area. So typically it happens in the sky, on tree branches, or it can happen, you know, on the outline of, say, like a city skyline, anything that's just in front of a really high contrast, bright backdrop. So it happens for two reasons. One is obviously the high contrast situation, and two is it will happen with older lenses or, say, kit lenses, like entry level lenses. And I think that's why so many people don't haven't heard of this and don't run into it. For example, okay, this photo was submitted yesterday by Story Moore in our group, and she's excellent. She's an excellent photographer. Her edits are insanely cohesive. Like, her portfolio is, you want to talk cohesion, Story is the girl to ask. They are spot on, like, across the board. So she knows what she's doing. She's great, right? So when she submitted this and said, hey, can anybody help me with this purple stuff? Like, what is it? How do I get rid of it? At first I was kind of surprised. I was like, I'm surprised that with her skill level, she doesn't know what chromatic aberration is. And then I was like, wait a second. No, I'm not surprised, because we live in 2025 and I started in, like, just after 2000. Yeah, just after 2000. Man, time flies. Okay, so back then we didn't have great lenses, and we certainly didn't have mirrorless cameras or lenses. So yeah, if you haven't seen this, you probably have great lenses and are, good at your job. But you will run into it. If Story can run into it, you can run into it. So just, maybe save this for later. You don't have to watch it now if you haven't run into it, but you might need it someday. So I'm going to show you two ways to correct. One way is the old fashioned, the way we did it a long time ago. And the other way is something I've come up with that I think is pretty foolproof, and it just turns out great. So let's start with the old fashioned method. So let's zoom in here. There we go. Yeah, you can see how bad that is. Like, and again, it's not Story's fault. It will happen to everyone someday. But let's come down. Oh, the other thing I want to say is I just grabbed this photo from our group, just downloaded the JPEG and imported it here. So the quality is probably cut in half. So any quality issues you see are not Story's fault. They're my fault for importing and editing a JPEG. But anyway, she already edited this. When I downloaded it, it was already edited with PNW 07, just to kind of let you know what's going on there. So old-fashioned way. Come down to lens corrections. Where are they? Here we go. And there's two little sub panels on top here. We've got profile and manual. So start on profile. Make sure this box is checked. Remove chromatic aberration. Check that. Sometimes, like maybe 1% of the time, I would say, just doing that will correct it and you'll be good to go, but not very often. So your next step is to come to manual and work here with the sliders. So it's actually really simple. Just click this eyedropper and hover over your fringing and watch what happens with the little like the glass part, where it would, you know what I mean, like the little vial. It'll be totally blank, and then when you hover over the fringing, it'll like suck it up and suck up a color. See right there? So now we've selected our fringing color and we just click. So then Lightroom does what Lightroom does, and it tries to figure it out by itself. Very rarely will it nail it, so you have to then go in and adjust a little bit for your photo. So the amount slider is just, down at 0 is like no correction, and then the higher you go, the more correction you get. And then the hue, your hue will be directly underneath the amount slider that's engaged. So here's our hue, and here is where Lightroom thinks that our fringing is. And it's pretty much accurate, except didn't get it all, right? So we still have some like maybe pinks and oranges in there. So then what we would do is expand our hue to include those colors. Now we have it all corrected. Except there's a caveat here, and watch what happens. So essentially, those sliders can't tell the difference between fringing and any other color in your image. So let's see what happened. Yeah. Let's see before and after, just so you can really see. Yeah, see where like her eyeshadow is desaturated, her lips are desaturated. This isn't actually the worst by far that it can go. But yeah, you can see the kiddo's ear there is gray. So, then we'd have to go back to that panel and really fine tune it to get a happy medium. But you can just forget that. Honestly, I don't think you'll ever have to use it. You can use my way, which is way better. So reset. We're going to ignore the main panels altogether. We're just going to use masking. So let's zoom out there, go to our masking panel, and just select. You can select anything you want to select the area where your fringing is. So I'm going to use a radial and just select that area. Okay, then I'm going to zoom in so we can get a good look at what we're doing. Oh, come on now. I don't want to zoom in there. I want to zoom in up here. Help me out here, Lightroom. I swear. Okay, I gotta say this. I am 100% self-taught, so I don't know everything in Lightroom, even though I've been working in it since it was born maybe 15 years ago. I started on Photoshop, actually started on GIMP software, the free source version of Photoshop. But yeah, if there's anything you know that I don't, please don't hesitate to tell me, because I'm completely self-taught. So yeah, zooming in and out has always been one of the things I hate on Lightroom. But anyway, there we go. Now we're zoomed in pretty good. Okay, so we've selected our area that has fringing. Now the next step is to come down to the point color tab and just click that eyedropper. And again, we're just going to hover over any area that has that purple and just click there. Now the point color tab has pulled that hue up, and it's going to give us some options down here. So we can change the hue, saturation, luminance, and the range. So we'll start with the saturation. We just want to desaturate as much as possible. And then we're going to take our range. So if you have your range at 0, it's going to affect very little of the purple. If you bring that range up to 200 or 100, I'm sorry, it's going to affect all of the purple. So you always want to have the range at 100 and the saturation at 0. Now that didn't fully correct it. I can still see some purple and maybe blue and pink in there. So all we do is start over, and this will add on top of itself. So it's not going to erase the first one you did. It will just keep adding until you've gotten all of it. So we'll hover over another part here and see there's another color we can desaturate, expand our range, right? And that is looking pretty good. There's still a little bit of purple up there. So let's try again. And you can click anywhere within your mask, and anything in that mask will affect the whole thing, and nowhere else in the image, which is great. There's another one we can desaturate and expand. And I think that did it. I think that looks amazing. Now let's just zoom out and look at the before and after. Yeah, you can see immediately how this photo is nicely white balanced and color graded, but your eye is sort of drawn up here. You sort of instinctively know that something isn't natural up here, right? But here we've got nice neutral, trees as it should be, and then you can focus on that pretty sun flare and the people and the nice composition. So beautiful photo story, and thank you for letting me use your photo for example, because we just don't run into this like real often, so it's great to have the perfect example here. So zooming in again, you'll see just how much it did. You can see, you guys, that I really do struggle with zooming in and out. I don't know why. It should be easy, but it's never been easy for me. What's wrong with me? So let's get up to a really bad area where it was. Oh, yeah, see the difference there. And we do even still have, like, that's very surprising that it's still like that. But if you do find that, you just keep clicking until you've gotten it all. That might do it right there. Yep, I could probably go even one more. Yep. Boy, that's a lot of fringing. Oh, I did luminance by accident. Okay, I'm gonna stop. You guys know essentially the method here. So that's it. That's all I wanted to show you. Now, if you run into it, you'll know what to do. It never hurts to have extra knowledge, even if you only use it once. Unless, once is better than never using it at all if you need it. So, yeah. Also, I gotta say, because I know I sound ratchet as heck, my son came upstairs the other day and he was like, Mom, I don't feel good. And I'm like, oh, honey, your voice. And then as I'm saying that, he goes, Mom, you don't sound good either. And we both just woke up with these terrible, terrible sore throats that hurt so bad. Um, and yeah, I'm just getting to the point where I can talk long enough to, do a full video. So, oh, forgive me for the voice, but it's the only one I have to use. So I'm going to get off of here and let you guys go. And I want to say happy Halloween. Have fun with your kiddos. If you're going trick-or-treating yourself, have fun. And yeah, it should be, I've got a couple things to announce and release within the next week or so. I still have to just finish up. I have so many like lofty goals with the I'm blanking, the posing prompting list that we have going. I started like a Canva guide where it's got pictures and links to people's social medias, and I've maybe gone a little too lofty. What I want to do is just get a list out so you guys can use it, and then as I have time, maybe work on the visuals. But yeah, so watch for that stuff. I've got one other thing in the works, and I'll always just announce things in the group. If you want to just hang out there, keep an eye out. That's it. I love you guys to death. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for watching my little janky video. I love you. I'll see you later. Bye.